Our thoughts are prayers. Our thoughts are prayers. And we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Keep breathing into your heart the truth that our thoughts about our lives, about who we are, and the thoughts about spirit. These are all prayers when we speak them forth with passion, with joy, with enthusiasm. Or conversely, negatively, with anger or despair. Whatever emotions we put behind words becomes our lives. And we think that we aren't healthy yet if we're feeling dis-ease or uncomfortableness or pain. The truth is we are already whole. That's the truth of a child of God. It's a journey to realization of that truth is why we're here. So I know I'm already healthy. We think abundance is something we have to get. But the truth is we are already prosperous beings of light and love. We are already divine. There's nothing we have to earn or try to make work. My job is to awaken to the truth. I am already divine. I am already a creation of spirit. I'm already perfect, as our elder brother said. So this morning I invite you to take these words as yours. I am already healthy. I am already prosperous. I am already divine. Breathe in. You shall know the truth. The truth shall make you free. And so it is. Amen.
Children, don't
Before noon, I sound like B. Arthur. I sound like B. Arthur all the time anyway. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Thank you. Oh, I think we're done. Let's sing the peace songs. There's some ministers that get really upset with just a great hand for a singer for 2 minutes, and we're up here for half an hour. They go, that's nice. But, oh my God. I wish I could sing my sermon, then I could be done in 5 minutes. It was like, oh, there it is, great, wonderful. But that's why we have music, because it lifts our spirits. It opens us up to the truth. So now you're ready to hear what Spirit has brought you here to really get the truth that is in your soul the whole time. Who does not remember Peggy Lee? Oh, you remember Peggy Lee. No, Alice said to me earlier, who's Peggy Lee? She was right. Peggy Lee sang Fever, for those of you. Remember that one? You give me fever. Jocelyn, sing it for us. Yes.
She was the Siamese cat's voices in Lady in the Tramp.
She was. What was that song she sang?
We are Siamese, if you please.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's wonderful. One more time?
She had to sue Disney.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right, yeah. Peggy Lee had kind of a difficult life. I saw her to the end of her career, end of her life actually, in Toronto. She was doing her club act. And she had a tank of oxygen right next to her, and she sang, "You give me fever." I'll be back. She came back, she sang some more. But she was out there, she was doing it. She was doing what she really loved to do. Back in the late 60s, she had, I think probably her biggest hit was called "Is That All There Is?" Anybody remember? Anybody not remember that song? "Is That All There Is" was played like every hour on the radio at one point. It was like all the time. The song was just played over and over again, and it made me sad. I was a really sensitive kid, so whenever I heard the song, I was sad for an hour. The song essentially was about a person who, from childhood to growing up, every experience in life, they would go through it and they go, "Is that all there is?" She talks about being 7 years old going to the circus, and she said there were clowns and elephants and everything, and at the end I said, "Is that all there is to a circus?" She said, "Our house burned down a year later, and we were standing outside looking. I said, 'Is that all there is to a fire?'" And at the very end of her life, she falls in love, and the man leaves her, and she said, "Is that all there is to love?" And the chorus is, everybody together. No, we don't want to sing that. "Is that all there is? If that's all there is, my friends, and let's keep dancing. Let's break out the booze and have a ball. If that's all there is." Is that all there is? No, we don't want to sing that one. That's not one of the songs we want to sing. But it's what we might call an existentialist song about somebody who goes through life and wonders, why? Why am I doing this? What is the point of this thing called life? Is this what I came to the planet for? To owe my life to Visa? Is that why I'm here, to work for my landlord? To work at a job simply because it pays but is not creatively satisfying? Am I here to be a convenience to everybody else? Am I here to be a dutiful mother, a hard-working husband, a good son, a competent employee? Is that all there is to my life? To do what? I had a game when I was 20 years old. It was called Palm Beach. The goal was to get to the center of the board to the country club at 90 and then die in your chair. It was a very silly game. But some of us were playing it one day and said, "Is this all there is? Is that what it's about? To get to the chair, a comfy chair, and then go, oh, I live to be 90, 100, 120. And it worked. Yay, I win. But what did I win? The writer of Ecclesiastes in the Bible was having great difficulty making sense out of his life. At one point in the book, he wrote, "I made great works. I built houses and planted gardens and parks. I bought male and female slaves. I had great possessions of herds and flocks. I gathered for myself silver and gold and the treasures of the king and of the provinces. I got singers, both male and female, and delights of the flesh and many concubines. Whatever my eyes desired, I did not keep from them. Then I considered all that my hands had done and the toil that I had spent doing it. All was vanity and chasing after the wind. This is the Bible version of is that all there is? What did I do it for? I had everything you could possibly imagine. To what effect? The book of Ecclesiastes is really interesting. One day I was meditating on it. It came to me that the Bible is kind of our blueprint. It's our path to our spiritual unfolding. The book of Ecclesiastes really is about depression. And we all will be depressed at some point in our lives. We go through that valley of the shadow. And we wonder, why am I here? What am I doing it all for? What's the point of being on the planet? And this is what he was going through. He was going through depression. I've had this great life, but to what effect? And why? Most of the challenges we have with our lives don't really have anything to do with wanting more stuff. We see this guy it didn't really work for him to have more. Even if we think we're here to create prosperity or eliminate debt or to have the material good in life, that's part of it. It's part of being here is that we are, as human beings, having this adventure, a divine being having an adventure, means that we need stuff on the planet. There's no doubt about that. But to what balance are we looking at? The stuff can be fun. I love my iPods and I like my DVDs and all those really fun things, but it's not why I'm here. It's just fun to have them. Even if your apartment should burn down, like Peggy Lee's house should burn down, you didn't lose you. You didn't lose you. You lost stuff. And we do grieve when we lose stuff, of course. You may have lost all your pictures. You may have lost so much. And we do have to go through that grieving process, but you did not lose who you are. We all came to planet Earth to fulfill our mission of bringing forth more of our creative expression in our own unique way. That's why we're here. You came to express the divine essence of God that you are. And that's about manifesting our talents and our gifts. It's about being the divine artist that we all are. Sometimes people say, Paul, what's your main message? What do you do in this ministry? What is your main thing to say? Outside of that, we need to really capture our joy and let joy be our main focus. It's to be the divine artist of life that we're here to be. You are here to create a life that works for you, to create with your talents and your abilities and your gifts a wonderful, beautiful, exciting life, and to let that be a blessing to others in service as well. I did a retreat years ago in New York called Becoming the Divine Artist We Already Are. We had 75 people at that retreat. It was so exciting. And people really, really loved it. And Unity Village and I were talking about doing that retreat a number of years ago. And they put an ad in Daily Word, and they got 12 people. And so they called some people that came to every single retreat, and they said, wouldn't you like to come to this one? They said, oh, it sounds wonderful, but I'm not an artist. That was the response. They said, I'm not an artist, so I don't belong at this divine artist retreat. So my job, I believe, is to share with everybody, you already are a divine artist. That doesn't mean just talking about singing or painting or dancing or acting. It's about letting the divine artistry of your life, whether it is doing, like being a wonderful singer, like Jocelyn, or playing the piano brilliantly like Barbara. It's about doing that, and it's also about you embracing your divine gifts. Do you cook well? Are you a great accountant? Do you pray well? Do you listen well? That's the making of a great psychologist right there. What do you do well that most people can't do as well as you? That's the key to having the life that we are here to live. You're here to live the divine artistry that you knew as a child was yours to live. When people say, I don't know what I want to do in life, I would say, go back to when you were 4 or 5. What did you want to do then? There's a clue as to what your life can be right now. Because God implanted that in us. It was what we agreed to before coming here. But we all know people, maybe you, who gave up their dreams of using their talents because you had responsibilities or obligations that you felt you had to do. Now, I'm not talking about those who said, well, I had this dream as a child and I did it for a while and it was wonderful, but now I want to do something else. That's completely different. We're talking about people who gave up their lives of music or painting or cooking or whatever it is that they absolutely love to do because somebody told them you shouldn't do that, or because they were berated or teased or made to feel less competent because they had this really unique and wonderful gift. A long time ago in a church in a small village in Eastern Europe, an altar boy serving the priest at a Sunday Mass accidentally dropped the cruet of wine. The priest struck the boy across the face and said, "Leave the altar and never come back." The boy wanted to be a priest. He longed to be a priest. And at that moment, he lost his faith. He became Tito, the communist dictator of Yugoslavia. In another church, an altar boy serving the bishop at the Sunday Mass accidentally dropped the cruet of wine. The priest smiled at the boy, bent down and laughed and said, "You know, someday you're going to be a priest." That boy grew up to be Archbishop Fulton Sheen. Our words make a difference. They make a difference. What were you told? Did you listen and say, "Oh, I guess I can't do that"? How many of us had a teacher or a parent or some authority figure who wouldn't allow themselves the joy of doing what they came to do? In their pain and in their unrealized dream, they would tell us, "Oh, what you want to do is too hard. You'll starve. Don't be stupid. Get a real job. Get your head out of the clouds. Be practical. Be realistic." I love that word, realistic. Be realistic. My dad, when I told him I wanted to be an actor, he said, "Oh, be realistic. I'll get you a job at the GE. You can do community theater at night." And I said, "Just kill me now." I said, "No, thank you. I'm going to follow my heart." And I did. If you've ever seen the show A Chorus Line, you saw how the successful working artist, the dancers in the show, were obsessed with, and still in pain, with their childhood memories of people telling them, "Go to medical school, forget dancing. You're not pretty, you're special. It's a good thing you've got personality." Or you take after your father's side of the family, the ugly side. These are all true things that we're told to the dancers. Words that stay with us the rest of our lives until we can forgive them because they know not what they're saying. And release in love and say, "I am here to live my life." Forgive your parents or other people that you looked up to for telling you a lie. As Stephen Sondheim so brilliantly wrote in Into the Woods, "Careful the things you say, children will listen. Careful the things you do, children will see and learn." In Mark 10, Jesus saw that his disciples were keeping the children from him. He was really upset with this. "Let the kids come to me, you go away. Bring the kids over here. Truly I say to you, whoever does not receive the kingdom of God like this child will not receive it, cannot enter it." You've got to open yourselves up. Let the kid make bud pies again. Let Spirit reveal, "This is my life, this is what I'm here to do." And open your mud pie shop. Or a real pie shop. Or mud pies if you like mud pies. Here's the key to recovering the divine and holy talents, the joy, the childlike joy of living that we have hidden maybe very deep inside still. They're here. They keep coming up very inconveniently, don't they? They just keep coming and going, "I put you away for a reason," and we put it down and we sit on it, but you know what? It keeps coming back because it comes from Spirit. It's a God idea. To become the whole, perfect, joyful, fulfilled person we were meant to be, we have to rediscover the awesomeness of our innocence. Discover the divine child that you still are. The divine, pure light essence that was dimmed in us in our childhood for way too many of us. This innocent you, the 4-year-old, the 12-year-old, the 20-year-old inside of you is the real you, is the divine artist Still waiting for you, giving that you permission to come out and do what you came to do. Yeah, you may be John the waiter or Mary the receptionist or Shirley the cashier, but what is your gift ultimately to yourself, to your soul, and to the planet? John the waiter may also be John the novelist, and is afraid of revealing his art because a teacher told him, well, your writing isn't that great, but the teacher didn't realize what a wonderful writer this person was. Mary always wanted to be a dancer, but her instructor said, you're too short to join a dance company. Well, so what? Mary was one of the best dancers the school ever turned out, but she thought, oh, what's the use? Which is the more active cousin to is that all there is? Shirley the cashier wanted to be a lawyer, but her father said, you have family obligations to meet, get a real job. And take care of your brothers and me because your mother passed on. My aunt did that. My aunt wanted to work for the UN and be a foreign correspondent, to be a translator. And my grandmother said, you have a responsibility as a good Italian daughter to take care of your father and me. And she did. She got a job as a secretary, and she hated every minute of it. She never got to do what she really wanted to do because she listened to somebody else say, your dreams are not important. The three enemies of expressing our sacred talents are, I'm too old, I don't have enough money, and I'm not good enough. Three really terrible affirmations, by the way. These are things I never want to hear you say, because they're not the truth. One is never too old to express the creative ideas of God. Never. You are never too old. Please get that. These ideas may take a different route, however, as the longer we're on the planet. If you're 50 or 60, you may never get to sing Mimi and La Boheme, except in the shower. And that's okay. But you can still sing. You can still join a choir. You can join our choir here. You can sing. You can listen to Spirit and then let your art pour forth in the way that is perfect for you. Expressing one's talent joyfully and enthusiastically, no matter where you do it, is one of the most healing activities we can do. Stand on the corner, put a hat out, and tap dance if that's your joy. It doesn't really matter because it's your joy. It's only in expressing the God self that we are that we find joy. Many of us think that to be prosperous means to have jewels and summer houses in the Hamptons or Jaguars. And again, these things are fun and they're fine. Don't make them anything more than they are. They're toys. They're adult toys is what they are. They aren't prosperity, they're things. Having a prosperity consciousness leads to having some of these things if these are the things that you want. True prosperity is expressing your divine artistry and knowing that that will bring forth the abundance that you need in your life. When we're in the divine flow, we are expressing more God, and we have more God. We have more health, more strength, more creativity, more abundance, more happiness, more joy. And that's why we're here, to express the joy of Spirit. If we aren't joyful, if we're in a constant state of depression or anxiety or fear, all of our prayers for abundance aren't going to be met because you're not meeting your life. You're not living the life that you came to do. What is Spirit within you saying over and over and over again? Rather than saying, is this all there is to my life or will ever be? We can ask, why am I not allowing God full access to my life, to my mind, to my body? Why have I not accepted to the fullest and the best to my ability the universe that is waiting to move through me and to claim my good? Why have I allowed a number on my birth certificate to determine my good today? You'd like to go back to school and get a degree, but you'll be 70 in 40 years. 70 in 4 years. How old will you be in 4 years if you don't go to college? The same age. Why not do it and enjoy it because it's something that your heart says, I'd love to have that. A few years ago, a woman in a nursing home was given a party. On her 100th birthday, a reporter from a local paper came to interview this really wonderful, highly energetic woman. When he asked her, do you have any children? She replied, not yet. This wonderful woman obviously knew the adage, it's not how old you are, it's how you are old. Did you hear that? It's not how old you are, it's how you are old. If we're here, we're going to age. Doesn't mean we have to get old. Be the divine child that you are. Charles Fillmore was 94. And apparently he was the most energetic, joyful person at Unity Village. He would close down the village just to have an ice cream social. At 94. He said, I leap forward with a faith and to do what I ought to do at 94. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm. What a great affirmation to make at any age, but 94. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm. Affirm that with me. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm. Not bad. Let's do it again. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm. One more time. We do these 3 times. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm. Breathe that in. Feel that energy. Wake every cell up. That other wonderful affirmation. I'm alive, alert, awake, and enthusiastic about my life. We've got to be enthusiastic if we're going to access the fullness of God's good. Children don't play any game with going, well, you go over there and do that, then I'll go over here and do that. Oh yeah, you can be a cop today and I'll be. And I was like, you do this, you do this, you do that. Okay, fine, let's go. It's that zeal and enthusiasm we have to, unless we become a child again, we can't access that good. That's the truth. Now, I want you to hurt yourself. But get excited inside anyway. Just bounce a little bit. Let me see you. Bounce a little bit in your chin. We'll work on that one. Second thing, quit listening to experts. They don't know anything. They know about their little thing, but they can't prove it. They cannot prove it. In the late 1800s, management at Western Union declared the telephone has too many shortcomings to be considered as a means of communication. The device is inherently of no value. How many people have their phones on you today? In 1923, Nobel Prize-winning physicist Robert Millikan said, "There is no likelihood we will ever tap the power of the atom." In 1977, it's about, how many people were alive in 1977 before? The president of Digital Equipment Corporation announced that there is no reason anybody would want a computer in their home. 1977. Exactly. That's a computer. Every one of us has a computer in their pocket. Not only at home, we have it on us. Everybody has a computer on.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he was thinking home, but my God, we have one right here. Let me look that up. It's right here.
It's right there.
It's right. I'm looking into a computer right now. Fred Smith, a business major at Yale, presented his idea to his business professor. The professor's comment on his paper was, in order to earn better than a C, your idea must be feasible. The idea was Federal Express. He got a C on Federal Express. What have you been told? You don't have the talent. You don't have what it takes. Don't embarrass yourself. There's too much competition. There is no such thing. I want us all to get this today. Whether you're going for a job or you're going for a mate, whatever it might be. There is no such thing as competition. The only competition is in your own mind. In spirit, there is no competition. So if you're going for an audition, you're not competing with anybody else. The job is either yours or it isn't. If it's not yours, there's nothing you can do to get it. If it is yours, say thank you, God, and just show up and say, this is really cool. This is great. Thank you. What's the next step? If it's not yours, say thank you. I'm glad to know this isn't mine, because if you tried to get it somehow, it would not work, or you'd be really miserable. So just know there's no competition. Yours is yours, and yours is to say yes. Yes, thank you. If it's not, well, thank you for seeing me, and I hope maybe one day to work with you. Worse yet, what do we keep telling ourselves over and over again? Nobody wants to hire me. Nobody wants to love me. Nobody cares if I'm here at all. And that's all there is to that. These are all lies. Why? Because none of these came from God. None of these are God's statements. None of these are the truth of spirit from within you. The truth about who you are is found in Psalm 8, verse 5. You have made us little less than God and crowned us with glory and honor. You hear that? Little less than God. You're a baby God. Jesus told us, you're a baby God and you just forgot. That's all. You just forgot. He said to him, he said, you're gods. You forgot. Okay, so we're divine beings having a human adventure, and I just forgot the divine part. You're a powerful, wonderful, creative being of love, light, joy, and good. You were created, as Genesis said, very good. Not just good, not just okay, very good. Jesus said, you are perfect. Be you perfect as God is perfect. What does that mean? It means complete, whole, nothing missing. Just go within and everything that you want is right here, right now. Don't try to convince yourself. We will never convince ourselves using our ego that we are great. We have to turn within in the quiet and hear Spirit reveal that. I can talk for another hour. I will not, because I know we're hot and hungry and blood sugar is going up. But I can keep talking, but you're not going to believe it until Spirit reveals this is the truth. You are divine. Everything you need is right here. Your talents and abilities will bring forth your good. So I invite you to close your eyes right now. Let's turn this over to Spirit. Breathe into your heart. Let go and let God. Begin the healing of the pain and the unfulfilled longings within you by accepting your co-creatorship with God. Take quiet time to be with that still small voice within. Don't go running everywhere looking for the answer. The answer is right here, right now. Sorry, Peggy. That's not all there is. God is all there is. As we go within, I invite you to sing along or simply listen to our meditation song, Lead Me to the Light. One more time, a little quieter. Breathe in the light, the love, the peace, the joy of Spirit. Don't try to figure it out with your mind, what it should look like or feel like. Simply be. Simply keep breathing joy. What does joy feel like? What does it look like? What have been some wonderful, joyful moments? Pick one joyful moment in your life. What were you doing? Who was around? Where was it? Picture that situation, the circumstances. Know this is a holy God moment. A moment when you are in the complete divine flow of all good. And now breathe that energy, breathe that thought from your head down to your heart. Let your heart radiate that joy, that wonderful feeling that you had then, now. Simply be with it. Let it flow forth into every cell, Every atom, every molecule, every part of you. This is the joy that we were meant to live. Unless we embrace the joy that we had as a child, we're not able to access the rest of the good of God because we shut it down. We don't believe we deserve it. We put it aside. Today I invite you to embrace your joy, your love, your light, your peace, the fullness of your oneness with God. I invite you to take that joy and breathe it into your body. Is there any place, any area in your body that is aching or uncomfortable? Breathe that joy into it. Feel like a 4-year-old again. What would your body feel like if you were 4 years old today? Those cells are still there. That memory is still there. That God is still there. Breathe that in. I am healthy, whole, and strong in God. I am healthy, whole, and strong in God. The abundant good of God is always here. Remember pretending when you were a kid that you were a king, or a wealthy princess, or queen. That's the truth. You are divinity and royalty of spirit. Feel it, accept it. Let spirit unfold this wonderful, abundant good that you are into your life. What are the gifts I have to share? What are the gifts that will bring forth joy and overflowing good into my life? I am abundantly blessed. I am successful. I am abundantly blessed. I am successful. Breathe that in. The joy, the love, the peace, every good and more than you could imagine are waiting for us to say yes. In the quiet within, just for a few moments, all it takes is a brief moment, knowing God and I are one. In the silence, allow the truth to be revealed, gently, easily, joyfully. God and I are one. Take a breath. Bring your sense of awareness back into this time and this place. Bring with you the divine child that you are, the divine artist that you are, the divine youth you have always been. I am already healthy. I am already prosperous. I am already successful. I am already divine. We sing our way back into this place with the greatest thing in all my life is loving you.